Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Debbie, and I am going to take you through a quick 10-minute flow today. You don't need any props at all. However, if you would like, you can absolutely grab yourself some blocks or a blanket to sit on, but this will be a mostly standing pose or standing class. So again, grab blocks if you need it, press pause. Otherwise, we are going to begin standing at the top of the mat in mountain pose. Hi, Jasper. So let's make our way to the top of the mat. Make sure our feet are hip width distance apart. Our knees are over our ankles, hips are over the knees, shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. Close down the eyes or let them come unfocused. And we'll start with 3 deep breaths to ground ourselves into the mat. Breathing in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Breathing in and exhale. Once more on your own. And then we will blink the eyes open and get going. So inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're going to plant the hands on the outside of the feet, generously bending the knees, stepping back first 1 foot and then the other, coming into plank pose for a breath, pulling that navel into the spine. On the exhale, lower down to the knees, and then lowering the chest, head, uncurl the toes, inhale, baby cobra, exhale, lower, curl the toes back under, push your way back up into downward facing dog, spreading the feet out about hip width distance apart or wider. Pedal the feet if you'd like. We'll take 3 breaths here, breathing in and out fully through the nose. Make sure that you are finding length in that spine. If you'd like to find stillness, finding length and extension through the arms and the shoulders, using those yogi hands. 1 more breath in and out. We will look up to the top of the mat and we will bring our left foot to the top of the mat in between the hands, coming into our low lunge. You can drop the knee down, breathing in and out. And we will lift ourselves up to high lunge, rotating on that back foot. Shorten your stance a little bit if you need to. Coming into warrior 2 for a breath here. Breathing in and out. On the next breath in, reverse the warrior. Arm comes up, hand goes down the back side of the leg. We'll take 3 deep belly breaths here, in and out through the nose. Breath in, breath out. Make sure that you're keeping your front knee bent. Breathing in and out. Once more on your own, breath in. And then we will come back up to warrior 2. Cartwheel the hands down. Pivoting on that back foot, stepping back to plank. And you can either take it the same way we did with knees, chest, chin, or you can do chaturanga, your choice. Let's go knees, chest, chin, into our baby cobra. Exhale, lowering down, pushing up into downward facing dog. And we'll take 3 breaths here. And again, if you'd like, you can pedal out the feet, noticing if you feel a difference between one side and the other. Finding an extension in the spine. And using those nice yogi hands to support your wrists so we're not putting all of our weight in the wrists. And on the next inhale, look forward. Exhale, take that foot through to your low lunge, dropping that back knee for a moment, making sure that your knee is over your ankle. Breath in. And on the breath out, coming up into our high lunge and coming into warrior two. So we are going to make sure that our back foot intersects our front foot. And on the exhale, coming up or back into reverse warrior, sliding that back hand down the leg. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Breathing in and out. Finding length through the side body. Last breath in. And on the exhale, find your way back up to warrior two. And then cartwheel the hands down, framing the foot, stepping that right foot back to meet the left for plank pose. And your choice, knees, chest, chin, or you can come through to chaturanga. So halfway down, coming up into our upward facing dog. And on the exhale, taking it through to downward facing dog. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Making sure you're not putting all of your weight in your wrists. See if the heels are any closer to the mat this time. And on our next inhale, we will step forward to the top of the mat. And take as many steps as you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then roll your way slowly all the way up to standing. And we're going to come into chair pose. So sit your bum back like you're sitting in a chair, reaching arms out in front of you or up overhead, yogi's choice, making sure that you are keeping the weight evenly in all 4 corners of your feet. Breath in, breath out. One more breath in. And on the next breath out, bring your hands through to heart center and we will twist. So we're going to turn to the right, taking our left elbow, hooking it onto the outside of our right knee for a breath. And on the exhale, or next inhale, we will come back to center. Inhale to center. And exhale, taking it over to the other side. So hooking that right elbow on the outside of the left knee, making sure that your knee hasn't come forward over the toes or that you're lifting up. One breath in here. And on the next breath in, come back to chair. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Prop yourself onto your fingertips, heel toe your feet out to the width of the mat, turning the toes out, heels in, dropping down into your malasana. And this is where if you need a block, feel free to grab a block, but we're just here for a breath for the transition. And then lower yourself onto your bum and make your way slowly onto your back, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So get nice and comfy here. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Taking up some space, spreading those feet out, our legs out nice and wide. Hands with the palms facing up. And just feeling your body absorb that quick practice that we just put it through. Quite normal if you feel your body pulsing, like there's energy flowing through it. That's kind of what we're trying to do here, is getting that blood flowing. And just let your breath be at a natural rhythm, feeling yourself melting into the mat. Slowing down the heart. And feel free to stay here for as long as you want. However, if you have other things to do and would like to end your practice here with me today, we're going to begin by wiggling our fingers, wiggling our toes, reaching the arms up overhead, nice big full body stretch, bending the knees, rolling over onto one side into fetal position, and then pushing the way back up to seated. Any seated position that you like. And then one more deep breath in, reaching the arms up overhead, palms together to touch, dropping your chin to your chest, thanking your body for taking you through this practice today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I really hope you enjoyed this quick 10-minute flow. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when my next video comes available. I look forward to practicing with you again. Have a great day. Bye.